Hello everyone, my name is Vlad and I'm here to talk about Decentraland SDK. Today we'll talk about this interaction with object in a scene and with interaction with the world around and with other players. So let's start with a fresh project. I already have a fresh project created. I just run DCL init and it created me this standard cube spawner project. I will remove unneeded parts like a rotator system, and I remove this component with on pointer down because I will recreate it myself. Okay, so first of all, what we want to do is to talk about interaction with object. Well, right now we have a cube on our scene, and it's just a cube. It doesn't do anything. I remove on pointer down event, and you can't really do anything. So let's put it back on. To make it interactable, we add a component, cube.add component, and we're adding a new on pointer down. But as you can see, there is other events, like for example on pointer up, but we will choose on pointer down for now. And it takes callback parameter. Here we can pass parameter e. Here we will do something, and we also can pass additional options, for example hover text, and that would be, and as you can see we can already click on it but nothing happens. Let's add just a log, clicked, and if you open F12, console log attached to the side, clean it up again, and as soon as we click on it we have a log clicked. It works. As I said, we can add not only on pointer down, we can add new on pointer up. We'll talk about this e parameter later. Log pointer up, here pointer down. Now what is gonna happen? We have a on pointer down, and when we release the mouse, we're gonna have on pointer up. So basically, we can trigger, for example, we can set one material when we click down and another material when we click up. Let's do that. Const. Let's put a just const mat, call new material, and we put mat by the color 3, and let's put blue. It's not, it is equal. And we add this material to the cube as a component. So now it should be blue. Yeah, here we go, we have a blue one. So we can change on pointer down, we can set color 3 red, and on pointer up we switch it back to the blue. Do it like this, not to type it again. Here we have a blue cube, and as soon as we click on it, it becomes red. But as soon as we release the button, it's going to be blue again. So that is one way to do it. What else can we talk about this on pointer up and on pointer down? We can add not only hover text, we can actually add button and set which button do we want to press. For example, we have a pointer which is click, and we can have a primary, for example, and you can see that it says E, click here. So basically this on pointer down. So if we comment this out, it's not gonna react on our click. It's only gonna react on E button. So we pressed E, it's changed color. As well as you can do it secondary, and it's gonna be F button. F, click here. So E doesn't work, click doesn't work, but F would work. But we can also use all three buttons for different functionality. For example, if you want to make it red if we click on it, we want to make it black if you press E, or something like this. So how do we do it? That's when these E variables came to our help. All we need to do is to check button ID of this E button. So if it's 0, it means it's gonna be on click. If it's gonna be the button ID 1, leg, and if it's gonna be F, then it's gonna be which color? Green. Here we have our variable, which comes after we press the button, and we can check the button ID and do the different actions depending on which button being pressed. So let's have a look at it. Here we have our cube. So we press on it and it becomes red. We press E button, it becomes black. We press F button, it becomes green. So that's how you check which button being pressed. What else can you check with this E variable? You can, for example, check the distance to the clicked object. So we have this E, heat, and length. Or we can choose to show entity ID. Let's choose a length and let's just show the E.heat. So we will get all the information from this raycast, which is going to be distance and the ID of the entity. Let's clean the console and click on it. So here we have our heat data and we have entity ID is ED and there is hit points and distance to it, length is the distance. If you go a bit further and click on it and look at this length, it became bigger. That is a quick and easy way to make an object interactable. But what do we do if we want to know if a button been pressed, regardless if we have the object with these interactable elements or just at any point of time? So we want to subscribe to the global events. How do we do it? First of all, we need to set our input variable, so constant input. So it's input dot instance. So when we have an input variable, we can subscribe to the event. And first of all, we choose, do we want to subscribe to button up or button down? For example, I want to choose button down. And after that, I'm selecting what kind of button do I keep track on. So action button dot pointer. So it's on a mouse click. Next parameter is use raycast. So if you want to send some ray to check the distance to the object and to check if any object been hit at that moment, for now I will put false because I just want to know if the button been pressed. We adding callback function. So when button been pressed, we call this function. So it just add log information for now. Pointer click. So right now, let's clean it up and we click anywhere, doesn't matter. Do we click on the floor? Do we click on a tree there? It doesn't matter, it's counter going up. We can press on the cube as well. So we can see that pointer click being triggered as well as on pointer down of this cube. And if you put E or F, nothing happens because we don't have subscription for this event. So if we want to trigger, let's say button F, we can put secondary here. And now we subscribe to button press. Change this one, F pressed. So let's clean this up and press F any point of time and it works. Let's increase size of this console. So I press F, counter goes up. That can be very useful if you want, for example, to add some pop-up menu on one of the buttons, for example, or maybe you want to take the object in your hand and at some point of time you want to throw it or maybe to do something else with it. For now, let's just change color again to something else. Let's put, which color do we have? Gray, purple, random. Here we go. That is really nice. Here we have our cube and we can run around, press F and it will change color. Press F again, it will change color. Keep pressing and it will keep changing color. And we don't have to press on the cube itself. Pointer down and pointer up works exactly as it would work on this component. So you can do exactly the same on a pointer down. You can choose one color, on a pointer up, choose another color. If you want more information about these global events or these on pointer down or pointer up components, you can look at the documentation, which is button events, and you can see all the different information about it, which buttons is which, and what else you can do there. Another type of interaction can be really useful if you want to click on a person and to know what person ID, for example. It can be useful, for example, if you want to pass him an object. Okay, let's talk about how can we check the player's ID if you want to click on another player. When I first tried to get a player's ID, I thought maybe I can use this function and use raycast, or I can use just a raycast and to check if a player been hit by the ray, I can get his ID. But no, it doesn't work because the raycast works with object but not with players. How can you get a player's ID on a click? All we need to do is to add some subscriber on the player click, which is called on player observable, on player click observable. And we are adding one. Inside we add the callback with the parameter click event, let's say. And this way we can log information and put player click event, and let's have a look how it works. So we need another player, so we can use another window. Let's put it side by side. Yes, finally. Here I have two players. It's not properly rendered. This one works better at the moment. So let's press F12 to get the console, but to unstack it. Let's clean it up and let's click on the player. And as you can see, we have this information about this object, user ID, and here we have a user ID. Also, we have information about ray, so the distance to the player and some other information. But for me, was the most important information was this user ID, so I could pass one object from one player to another. If you need a user ID, you can just click event, user ID, and press and player clicked, and here is his user ID. That is three different types of interaction in Decentraland using the Decentraland SDK. First one, we added on pointer down or pointer up to the object and made this object interactable. Second one, we subscribe to the event, to the global event, and we could press a button in any place on our scene and it will trigger the code we written for that. And the third one, we added click observable for the player. So as soon as we click on the player, we can get information about this player. So that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I hope it was helpful. So if you have any questions, please write down in the comments and I'll try to help as much as I can. Also, please like and subscribe and see you again.